All right, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. I want to thank everybody for coming out to the Springboro Tea Party's reaffirmation of the Bill of Rights rally. This has been in planning for a little while, and we've been putting a lot of time and effort into it, and every last penny we could to try to get this bad boy to happen. So if anybody has good favor with the man upstairs, say a little prayer, and hopefully we have clear skies throughout the whole event. So next I'm going to welcome up Dan Sullivan. This gentleman has put forth together a film called Article 17. It's still in production, but I'm sure he's going to go over some details about it, some of the summary behind it, and some other things that's going to be pretty interesting. So I want to welcome up Dan Sullivan. This is the filmmaker from the film Article 17, going to be coming out soon, and also an Infowars.com, Paul Revere film project candidate, and actually, from my understanding, he's gotten a pretty good thumbs up from Alex Jones himself. So I want to welcome up Dan Sullivan, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas, for inviting me here. As he said, my name is Dan Sullivan, and I am the director of Article 17, which is a story I wrote about 6 years ago about what's getting ready to happen in our country. So if you want to see a fictional drama to tell you a little bit about what's happening or what's getting ready to happen, that's the place to go. And we should have the pilot episode out within the next month. There's a trailer out there on YouTube now for you guys to check it out, and you can look it up on YouTube. So, yeah, Article 17 on YouTube is how you can look it up. But how about I just talk straight with you all today? How about that? You guys tired of everyone blowing smoke? Let's be honest, we don't live in a free country anymore. I know those words are unsettling, and if I would have spoke them about a decade ago, I'd be called a crazy nut job conspiracy theorist. No, in fact, I was called that the other day. But my conspiracy theories, I would like them to be theories, but they become fact, and that's what troubles me. You are all assembled here in this park because you likely see some things that trouble you too. But let's cut through the bull and talk about reality without the media being a filter. Your government believes that it is legal and ethical to unapologetically spy on you in violation of your Fourth Amendment. They don't even bother to hide it anymore because they're counting on you not giving a rip or making an excuse like I've got nothing to hide. Well, if they make lawful activities illegal, then you've got everything to hide. They are counting on you being preoccupied with your busy lives and not noticing what they are up to and doing out in the open. Then when you have the brass to stand up and refuse to take it anymore, they'll sick the tax collectors on you and harass you into giving up your First Amendment rights to speak your mind freely without fear of repercussions or retaliation. They are counting on you giving up and coming to the conclusion that it's not worth all the headache to come out here in the heat or if it rains in the weather. Your government believes that it has the power to kill American citizens from a robotic drone from the skies with only the precondition that they believe you are a threat to them. That's it. No warrant, just a threat. And it's a belief that you're a threat. Well, guess what? You are a threat to their power. Not a violent one, but you're a threat with your voice and your voting. But still they claim the same powers that compelled Patrick Henry to shout out and the same powers that caused Paul Revere to take a ride. These snakes come from the same brood and they are desirous of devouring your freedom at any cost. I'm a free man and I will not put on those chains of slavery for the empty promise of protection. You are not living in a free country anymore, people, and it's time to wake up to that. They may not be able to quarter soldiers in your home physically under the Third Amendment yet, but they are already quartering them above you with robotic drones. May I ask what the difference is? When the fireworks display that you all are about to watch on this coming Independence Day is bursting in the air above you, may you gaze up and wonder how many more of them you may see before you are forced to watch actual bombs bursting in the air from the courtyards of a concentration camp. God forbid we should go there. Excessive and meritless worrying Aren't you, Dan? Aren't you making up a bunch of, conspiracies? Yeah, well, I hope it stays one because I refuse to find out it's true by discovering the smell of gas coming out of a sprinkler head, like the Jews had to find out. I'd rather be an alarmist that stopped the train by being wrong and over-exaggerating and causing too much of an alert than to appear on the front page of Pravda, of all, as the dead, lifeless carcass of an innocent at the hands of a genocidal maniac. You see, people, when Edward Snowden has to flee to Russia or Hong Kong to beg them to protect his freedom for exposing illegal activities, you can no longer convince me, no matter how you view Snowden, that we are in the United States of America. No, we are in the United Socialist States of America now, and the beacon of freedom that we once were is dimming. This is not a new fight, people. This is a fight that is as old as the hills, and they're trying to divide this nation into two distinctive camps so they can conquer you. You're waking up to a brave new world where you are already in chains, you just can't see them. Republican or Democrat, it no longer matters. The more divided you are, the quicker you will fall, so polarize yourselves at your own peril. In Nazi Germany, they used leg irons to bind people. In modern tyrannical states, they don't need something so obvious. Your cell phone might as well be tracking you. Your Facebook account might as well as be a log of your day-to-day activities. Why do they need physical restraints? This battle is an age-old battle, and now it's gaining technological abilities that are frightening and could make it impossible for any of us to retreat from. This battle is a battle of free men and women versus the slave owners, free men and women versus the feudalists, versus the crown, versus the dictators and the tyrants, versus the oligarchs and the bankers and the elites of the world who do our bidding behind closed doors in secret, and yes, even in secret courts where you can't even appeal their decision, let alone find out about it. The blood of tyranny drips from the fingertips of the patriots, yet we all stand idle. We come out here with lawn chairs and we come to hear great voices espousing the tenets of liberty and freedom, while the snakes are slithering in the grass beneath you and they're calmly slipping the cold, evil steel shackles around your legs in a new and unbelievable digital format that most of you will never even begin to comprehend, let alone feel until they slam the door shut on your ill-perceived utopian attitude about freedom. You see, the chains that bind are the ones that are the hardest to see. Like a dog's shock collar, you don't feel the fence until it jolts you. I should know about these things. I'm a database administrator by trade during the day and the director of films at night. And technology is what I do for a living, so I understand it slightly. You are not free. They use computer equipment that you don't understand very much to enslave you, and they put a pretty ribbon about it to make you feel good. They have erected a 1 million square foot data center in Bluffdale, Utah for the National Security Agency that has spy capabilities that Hitler would have salivated over, nay, he would have killed for. He would have gave anything for the powers of technology that they have to control people and monitor them. If you are not comfortable with the prospect that your precious Republican Party nor your Democratic Party would rubber stamp this, then it's time for you to stop hitting the snooze button and finally wake up. It's time for a grand awakening of the minds of mankind, and the sound of the alarm is ringing in your ears, should you be brave enough and honest enough with yourself to admit that it's going on. It's time for you to reclaim your liberty and wake up. There are more examples in history of oppression than there are of freedom. So, Mr. and Mrs. Media, why aren't you reporting on it? No, I'm not grandstanding, and no, I'm not being excessive with my words, nor do I stutter. You heard me correctly, and you had better start getting onto the side of liberty versus the side of evil. You don't have to do the biting to be the snake. All you have to do is give safe harbor to it. It is your job, Mr. Journalist, to call them out and put them on notice. And it is our job collectively as the people to change the channel when you don't, to someone who will. Now, I'm a storyteller, as he was saying. I wrote a story called Article 17. But I'm also a dreamer, not a dreamer of things that are make-believe, but of things that are yet to come. I'm a watchman at the wall, if you will. And I have a message that needs to be heard, and it's going to be released on film this summer. The first pilot episode I hope to release within the next month. I'm the voice of a faceless and far too quiet majority in this country that is sick and tired of being trampled underfoot. The title of this show is Article 17, and it's about what happens when they require mental health evaluations in order to have firearms. Well, we're all pretty much in agreement that crazy people don't need guns. But what happens when they call you crazy, you crazy, you crazy, and you crazy just for being who you are and having the political beliefs that you have? That's what Article 17 is about. There's a table over there that's showing the trailer about Article 17 if you'd like to see it today. I hope you give it an open mind and an honest look. Pass the word around about it. But there are millions of subdued voices from the annals of history that have been cut down by these dictators before, and they're all shouting out with seemingly one voice of solidarity to you, telling you to rise up and peacefully refuse to be mowed over. They are begging you to stop being ignorant, and they are begging you to become who you are supposed to be. You are the resistance that the future generations will talk about. It's up to you whether or not they talk about you coming, bringing liberty back from life support, or whether we're talking about another Holocaust, because it's almost one or the other, folks. I wrote Article 17 from the future perspective of a dystopian place where Agenda 21 pushes all the people into the inner cities, or they don't get food. Article 17 is about a future world where dissension is criminal and weapons of defense warrant a life sentence just for possession of them. It's about a future that's crying out to you and pleading with you to wake up because there's no more time to dispute this or that. You're not going to have a time machine in the future to go back and change anything either. Like it or not, you live in these times now, and the decision about what to do about tyranny rising is up to you. I hope you watch and enjoy Article 17. Thanks, I'm Dan Sullivan, and I disapprove of this mess we're in.
They took him, Emily. They're gonna execute him for treason.
Wake him up.
You are not thinking rationally. They have our fingerprints, our voices, our faces, our DNA. God only knows what they have about our brainwaves. You're crazy.
Know what this is here, Frank?
No, why don't you tell me?
It's a life sentence.
And a lot of hurt, injured people.
Entrance wound here, exit wound here.
And people were screaming and running and blood everywhere. I didn't know what to do with it.
Huh. What are you doing? Hey, we don't have that tagged and marked. We haven't got any photographs. I thought you were a professional.
Do you think we can ever get back to where we were?
The cities are cordoned off and travel outside is prohibited. In the metropolitan zones, all weapons are strictly prohibited and travel between zones is restricted.
You know, it'd be a shame if police came to custody of this firearm with your fingerprints on it. Get him back.
Here, he could have been in a hurry.
We simply cannot allow one more senseless act of violence to be perpetuated against innocent civilians.
Martial law has been ordered.
Hey, it's me. Are you watching? All right, good. The plan is still on. Good.
Man, There's this huge massacre in there. This guy just came in and just shot up a whole bunch of people.
What? Oh my God, are you kidding me?
Oh, those people will never know what hit them. Oh, I'm so excited. Well, keep watching, baby. Keep watching.
All of this was made possible by instilling fear and panic.
We'll be issuing an executive order tomorrow in response to the 20th century theater shooting.
And a few well-placed false flag attacks. The countryside has been declared a human exclusion zone.
So you ready? We need to get back to DC ASAP, off the books.
Come on, Frank. We know there's a mole. We know he's feeding you information. Just tell us who he is.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Downey here from Channel 6 News, and I am here with Specialist Meyer. So, what happened in here? Like, how many people are in there? What is going on?
Land, air, and sea-based drones monitor the borders of the zones and control society. It is inevitable for mankind to yield its freedoms in return for the empty promise of protection. We quite simply cannot fathom the unimaginable prospect of actually becoming truly free.
Well, thank you very much, Dan. I appreciate you coming up and coming down here and covering all that detail with us. Look forward to seeing your film. I've actually seen a little teaser trailer he's gotten. It's actually very interesting. And some of the stuff he's talking about, some of the details, he's taking some aerial footage of Dayton, and he's going to make it look like it's almost something like out of Escape from New York. So it's going to be pretty cool. So I can see Dan turning into Snake Plissken over there.
Give me shelter, don't leave me behind. It's your last life, don't leave me behind. So much pain now, don't leave me alone. Under the cellar door, beneath the floor. So get ready to turn around, 'cause it's your last life to bring me down. So much pain now, I've seen this before. Under the cellar door, beneath the floor. I'm me enough, but I still want some more. Come on, give me some more. I've got no time for love tonight, because there's someplace else I'd rather be. A higher place in my so-called society. There's red lights in my rearview mirror, and another bridge is burned. There's no turning back, I've reached the point of no return. I've reached the point of no return. I want it all and I want it now. I want my cake and eat it too. I'd like to burn the candle at both ends, it's true. When will it stop? Well, nobody knows. I'm trying to go as fast as I can. There's no end in sight, and I wanna do it all again. Come on, let's do it again. Stuck here in no man's land, headed out to parts unknown. I've been under the radar, but now my cover's blown. Looks like my luck's running out this time, and another lesson's learned. There's no turning back, I've reached the point of no return. The man is moving up on me fast. Looks like it's the end of the road. I'm not gonna make it home. I got no place to